on the agenda for up to 3 minutes. Time extensions are at the discretion of the village president. No action can be taken on items not listed, except as a possible referral to committee staff or future board agenda items, excuse me. Do we have anybody in the room? I do not see anybody in the room. Do we have anybody online that would like to speak? I'll take that as a no. No. Okay, has everybody had an opportunity to look at the village board minutes from May 14th?
Yes, make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. Okay. Okay, new business, Public Works Committee, trustee Mann.
We had a meeting. I'm gonna give you just some highlights of this. So, from the top down, we have the village office and the DPW garage are on a shared sewer line with Wingspread.
Got it.
Was- Huh?
Will all be shared lines.
Is this a new one?
This is Scott, this is pretty new knowledge, right?
Yeah, this came about with our stormwater audit through the DNR, that they wanted us to do dye test on laterals, to confirm that they weren't going to storm. And while doing that, we uncovered that we're actually hooked up to Wingspread's lift station.
Did we not talk about this last one?
No. that
No,
was-
we just found out
Oh,
about
did we
it.
talk about it? A meeting?
We'll talk about that in a
Okay.
second. Let's finish this part.
Okay,
So essentially what has happened there is that's bad juju. We're not supposed to do that stuff. So the question is, Eric has recommended, legal, has recommended that we consider splitting that off. We have a quotation for us to establish our own sewer line for just about $250,000. Yeah, just about. I think it's 234. In that regard, Eric had said, hey, we think it's a bad idea to have a lease, to lease their sewer line until we establish what's going on in regards to our current office and municipal building and where that's headed in the future. The question is that although he recommended that we not lease, we've reached out to him to say, hey, tell us why you don't want us to lease, and then try to come up and figure out decent terminology for us to lease, because I'd rather pay them $10,000 a year in perpetuity than spend $250,000. So that's where that sits. And we have nothing back from Eric yet?
I emailed him, he has not responded.
Okay. So that's that deal. So, we have pushed this off also to, a staff contact village attorney about a lease option. We'd like to get a lease option there.
okay, can I ask a question? Because this whole stormwater and sewer and all the water utility and everything, I know there's money in there and we charge people for that. So is that money that we should have been paying for where our sewer or whatever, have they been overpaying?
Well, unfortunately, this is sanitary, so this is Caledonia.
Well, that's, yeah, well, so but has
We don't have a-
Wingspread been paying Caledonia too much and we don't know.
We can't confirm,
Okay.
but my assumption is that we were. I mean, we were adding to their.
Yeah, but this is us.
But I think they're paid by what comes in with sewer, sanitary sewer, you're paid what you have coming in water, they just assume you have going out.
That was
what you charge.
So,
Yeah,
but
whatever's
this is
coming
off
in is
the
gotta go
village
out.
Yeah.
hall, or the village office.
I'm sorry,
That's off the village office.
no, that would be the DPW garage and the village office. That would be the park bathrooms, our floor drain in the DPW building, and then both bathrooms and kitchen sink in the village office that are going to Wingspread.
So like there's no washing machines and there's no showers and there's no swimming pools.
Right.
So Yes,
Not huge water use, but probably enough, but,
Know about it. Right, you think they would have been like, why is it so high?
well, my guess is it probably
Because they,
doesn't add a lot to their bill.
right.
Especially when you look at the amount of activity they have over there, you know, they have people coming in every week, staying there with showers and whatnot.
Yeah,
Allison, what I think Scott and I are saying is, it's probably at zero to their bill, because the bill is based off the meter at the village. So the, even for waste, they base it off usage. So they would read your meter for water usage, so the village's water usage, which is correct, is being billed for the sanitary piece as well.
Oh,
They're one and the same, right? Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
Scott?
it's just more wear and tear
Right.
on their equipment of the lift station to take on our
right.
stuff.
okay.
Okay, well, hopefully you guys will get this all figured out. Did this woman just try to get in?
No.
Did you?
No, she
No.
was looking at the board.
Oh, okay, I started walking down there and the door's not locked though. All right, sorry, I just, you know, like I said, the whole water thing confuses me and I just wanted,
We're all learning.
okay. Yep, well,
We get new every
you're
day.
3 steps ahead of me, so.
okay, so on
Thank
the
you.
next topic is shared water supply between two residents. What's the address, Scott? Who are they?
10 and 12 Raven Turn.
Yes. So, they're both on the same curb stop. I suspect they have different, they each have their own meter,
Correct.
but they, the Public Service Commission says, no, it's not good. And, we've directed, you know, the board, excuse me, subcommittee said, hey, Scott, can you get a quote on providing 2 separate supplies, coming off our main.
So who would pay for it?
Yeah, bless you.
The water utility would pay for that. We own up to the right of way.
So the village made that choice to put one, okay, well.
Or the developer.
Somebody did.
Somebody.
Whatever.
Somebody
But not
decided.
the
to-
owners of the,
The way we found out is we had an incident over there last week. We shut down the water for the one resident at 12 Raven Turn. And by doing so, 10 Raven Turn came out and was very upset because their water was turned off and we had no idea that they were hooked up to the same service line as the other. So currently, right now, that's the situation, is that there is no way to isolate the 2 properties. If one should have to have some plumbing work done, the other one kind of comes along for the ride, so.
we getting an estimate on what it, okay.
Yep.
That's not one thing, it's another. All right. Carry on.
Next one is a right away, Eric was drafting a letter, to a resident, in regards to removing his his fixtures out of the right of way. And it's kind of interesting, but, Wisconsin state law says, hey, you know, if you don't do it, we'll do it. If you were ever granted permission, it's now withdrawn.
Okay,
Yeah, and,
What kind of fixture are you talking about?
I think they're light poles,
Okay.
light
There's
fixtures.
City of Racine, College Avenue, 1880 light poles, very non-replaceable.
Sure.
So we all know what contractors do.
Yep.
They're not very nice, so they're not gonna be very careful. We're encouraging that person to move them on their own.
And they're on a 10-day window on this. Are we 10 days into it already, Scott?
They had till May 26th to remove them and they're still there. But we're not over there for the construction, so not that big of a deal, but
It's a guy Danny with an excavator. They might come out in one piece.
very well, very much, yeah.
Um,
Pretty priceless,
Yeah.
so,
You put a mailbox in the right of way without a permit?
yes. That is a federal thing, so they supersede us.
So,
added a mailbox onto his light pole.
Do that.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, patch mailbox store.
We have some, where are we here? Oh, temporary no parking on Fairway
We
Drive.
didn't actually, we skipped that one.
Oh,
We didn't actually talk about that one,
that
so,
was on the agenda.
yeah, but we
I didn't
missed that
find
one.
it.
We got caught up on other stuff.
We had a recycling grant notification. Scott, if you fill this out, thank you for $8,693.77.
Thank you.
We have, there are established, based on engineering out of the city of Racine, I think we've adopted their standards for sump pump connections to storm. Is that it, or we anticipate doing that?
It was brought up as a template to use as if you wanted to get into that conversation. I put a couple of examples from Brookfield and from Racine on how they handle the sump pump situation. But it was more of a talking point because of what happened in April. All the rain. We got many phone calls regarding issues with sump pumps and neighbors discharging onto other neighbors' properties and all that kind of stuff, and we currently do not have any language that polices that, so we can do something about it, so. I brought it up for a conversation piece.
If somebody's interested in it, I have the recommendations on the city of Racine. If we want to work on an ordinance for that, understandably, April included, it was 100-year, in other words, a 1% chance of having that much rain in any month. 19 inches of rain. In that regard, I'll just jump to another subject, which, here.
Talking about Jay,
Yeah, the easements.
yeah,
So there are some backyards and side yards that there are easements to the village of Wind Point for drainage. We don't know where they are. And to discover those, we have to put, we have to go to the county to get the deed and determine where they are. I think it was generally the committee said, we got enough going on rather than trying to understand where all the easements are. That we have a record of some, correct, Scott? Not a
not
one.
really, no,
It's interesting, Scott got a letter today indicating that it's an easement and
yeah,
that resident is obliged to make sure that that easement is their problem, not our problem. And maybe others will be written that way, but we don't see it. We don't know that until we see the deed of record. And in that regard, Scott, you had said this costs us $400 for every deed search that we do
correct,
with the county.
correct. For the title deed, to pull a title deed for $400.
Now, all these flooded backyards have gone away. They're no longer a problem because we didn't get any rain in May, to speak of. So, I think the committee basically said, hey, this is a back burner. We got too much going on right now. Questions in that regard?
But, with this whole title deed search, I mean, I'm gonna put this for the next RCICC meeting, because that seems to be something that all the communities should be able to have some access to without $400 pop.
That's a full title search, so.
Yeah,
Why
from
would
what
we need
I,
a full
from what I
title? Like, you just want
understand,
easements.
I understand there's
Surveys?
like an annual fee to get, I think it's called Land Shark,
Yeah,
through the county, that you can do an annual subscription and then you can get, designate somebody and then you can get access to all that stuff without having to go down there, go through all the microfiches and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a matter of whether it's beneficial for the village to pull the plug on something like that and actually do it. They decided that probably up to this point, it wasn't necessary. I still don't know if it is. I'm just saying that that's an option.
I don't know what the subscription is. I know when I'm done looking. at the
It's,
stuff.
yeah, I used to have it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still do, yeah.
I urge that, it's on a priority right now. But at some point, as you're starting to GIS everything, to actually go through and make sure you have all your easements, locked up. I mean, locked up as far as knowing where they're at. Because at some point you may have to remove trees or DPW may have to have access to backyards, and we need to know how much access they actually do have.
Is it in, by chance, is it in the current Racine County GIS?
No.
No.
They only do Racine County stuff. They don't do local municipality stuff. So like storm easements, sanitary, water, they don't have any of that in their stuff. We have to figure it out.
And my other thought would be if there's like a real estate attorney that already has access, could you,
Right.
it's $400 a pop.
Well, I'm not sure about a real estate attorney, but maybe like we could hire a title company to just do something for stormwater search.
Yeah, right, whomever would be the most,
Yeah.
Right.
whoever would give you the
They
best
already
person
have
to do it,
the
yeah.
access to land chart.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, it's not just getting the $400 a pop is gonna be expensive over time. But it's not just getting the title and everything, it's also going through and marking it out. So you still have to do some research there. So it's a pretty labor intensive project. But something that not to push down too far down the road.
The problem with this whole thing is that when residents think or suspect that it's village owned, they want it fixed and made better and to drain and stuff like that. And then when they find out that in certain situations that the village doesn't own it, then it's not really that big of a deal anymore. So when it comes to dead trees or it's not draining or the culvert's plugged, or like I had to deal with on Tuesday, we have a beaver in the village now that built a dam and the residents want us to pay for the beaver to get trapped and to break the dam up, and it's in what is in a question of whether or not we own the easement or not, so. That's a new one.
Is busting up beaver dams under the guidelines of the DNR?
No, it's just a good thing to do. I mean, you don't wanna backen up your, your
No, I
stormwater,
understand
so,
Removal of the animal, yes.
yeah,
Removal of the destruction it's done, no.
yeah. So, we just found that on
It's a
Tuesday.
nice dam.
They did a very good job, yes.
Dan, but-
It's, yeah,
Yeah.
it holding back the water very well.
Okay, next item. We have a forestry summary. It's very nice to know that we are at approximately 40% canopy cover. And the DNR estimates that our annual benefits are $168,179. But nobody's writing us a check for that amount. That's beneficial based on air pollution, carbon removal, and avoiding runoff. Stormwater easements we just spoke about. Right of way permit inspection. Scott, is that our current permit, or are we gonna propose that for an ordinance?
No, that is a current permit that We Energies pulled last year. If anyone lives over in, well, you do. Where We Energies was going through your backyards and doing all the boxes and transclosure boxes and stuff. Well, there were certain areas they did not restore. So we were getting complaints and they're obligated to restore. So based on that, we just had to do some research to let residents know that we are working the problem and making sure We Energies comes out and restores all that stuff, because it's been over a year now that people have holes in their yard, so. Just letting you all know that it's a We Energies issue and they're resolving it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Miller Pipeline is in the area this week, and I think I saw them, they were out there with landscape stuff, so I think they got the message.
We had 3 referrals coming out. Staff to contact village attorney about a lease option. So Scott's handled that. And the 5A was the shared water between 2 residents. We're getting a quote, Scott's getting a quote. And the last item is the DNR wants to have a construction manager, engineer, consultant. And we've pushed that off to the administrator to, he doesn't have to be the contact, but he would delegate those responsibilities to somebody qualified to do it.
You go back and say that one again, I got lost, sorry.
So you can read up on it.
Not that me. I'll say that again. Yeah.
The summary is that if we're doing things with stormwater and we're doing things with, well, it's mostly stormwater. If we're doing things with stormwater, we have to have a contact in the village that the DNR can contact.
Something new? Like, what do they, oh, no, they don't have that.
It is kind of new, right?
No, we're just non-compliant.
Oh,
This had to do with, what you, this had to do with, a couple of meetings ago, you all, voted or approved to have us contract with RA Smith to redo our construction, erosion control program, because I said I didn't have time to write that up. So they are doing that now, but because they're doing that, they're producing work for us. And basically what that involves is that anything that disturbs more than 1 acre, you are obligated from the DNR to have an erosion control policy plan and everything else, and somebody has to go out there, qualify, write reports, check it every week, make sure they're doing what they're doing, enforce if they're not doing what they're doing. And I figured with Prairie School doing their thing, which is over 1 acre, and the possibility of Shoots Park, if that ever happens, that is over 1 acre, and we need somebody in place to do that, and the DNR requires us per our policy, and RA Smith just wants to know who that designated person is gonna be that the DNR can go to get that information and get those reports and all that kind of stuff. So we have to designate somebody for that.
We don't.
In the
currently
policy.
Have a village engineer, is that correct?
RA Smith is our village engineer.
Because that's.
If the administrator, like,
Okay.
yeah, if the administrator wants to refer that job for that development, but that's not something, just so you know, that's not something that the village pays for. So that would actually get pushed back on the developer. That developer would pay for that person to come out and check all that stuff. So it wouldn't cost the village a dime.
Part of the permitting process.
Correct.
percent.
Correct.
So would, if we designate, RA Smith, the village engineer, as the person, do they have somebody designated within that they would?
Yeah. And that's why we were saying just to keep it as general as possible. So you don't have to keep redoing the policy all the time. Just keep it administrator or designee. And then that's it. But the RA Smith creating the policy, just want to know what we wanted to write in there. Like what did we feel like? Cause you know, I found out that maybe the building inspector was doing some of it. And you know, that you would want that to fall on his his or her responsibilities. Your choice, you know, it's up, whoever you want.
Is the building inspector qualified to do the
Some are,
erosion?
some are. I don't know about ours, but some are, yeah. Cause you know, when you see like on Formal, you see the silt fence out.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah. They have to check that on houses when they're being built, so
Mhm.
I would assume they do. But I don't know about ours. I've asked.
Why are those barriers sporadic? Some houses have them, some don't.
It's protecting the stormwater, so if you have a ditch, not really necessary. It's protecting more so the beehives or the grates in the road. You're basically protecting that over there to make sure no stormwater runoff from the big piles of dirt and stuff end up in the waterway or in the stormwater and end up in the storm lines and get out to the lake. They want to prevent that. So they're pretty specific on that.
And then if it's under 1 acre, it sounds like you don't have to do it, so.
DNR doesn't care. You can write something up to regulate that if you choose, but the DNR only cares about anything over 1 acre of disturbance. That you have a policy set in place for it.
So that would be why you see it sometimes and sometimes you don't, then most likely.
Yeah.
The last item of interest is Prairie School has applied or has applied for permitting for revetment along, the best description would be the old Schmidt property.
Excuse me, what's redundant?
Big rocks,
Fix the shoreline.
Yeah, protects the shore.
big rocks. And they anticipate it'll be barge loaded. So. Pricey. And I think I spoke with them because I got the letter in the mail because I'm a next door neighbor. And I also had a permit to go on, and from, why do I have something from Lighthouse, from Prairie School? And so I talked to Steve Jones, and, he filled me in. And I think they're going granite, not limestone, so.
Well, they have
Big
to go do all their DNR stuff. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, do they have to go through the
So-
planning commission on that?
Yes, I had a meeting earlier with the Prairie School and Dan and their construction or their engineering. They are about 30+ days away from getting a DNR permit. And I've talked to our own engineer, Jeff. And yes, they are going to need to apply for a permit.
Okay, so did they go to the planning commission before or after the DNR permit?
They can go at any point, but prior to any kind of construction.
Okay,
So in talking with them and knowing that what the situation is, we're looking at a planning and zoning not until August. They're fine with that because they don't plan on doing any construction until after. And the DNR could take longer than 30 days, which would put it into late July, early August anyway. So the timing works out about right. Jeff has already reached out and for some follow-up information, and then look for something in the next planning and zoning for August.
It's a question, where are they gonna put these boulders?
Above high water, that's the first thing. I just know this from other work I've done on. Revetment.
Property is that?
Well, it would be just. From somewhere around the orchard, the orchard at my house, well, half of that belongs to them.
Yeah.
And so from there, and I don't know how far north they're going, because I did not download their application. But I think they're also going, up to, Michael O. Flegel and Ann R. Flegel on 4025 Lighthouse, on 4001 Lighthouse, so. It's essentially, they're protecting the old Schmidt's property. Which would include that little truck farm area, those 2 acres of truck farm, another acre where the farmhouse used to be, and the barn.
If you're looking up at the screen, this is what it will look like. Give me a second here. Sorry, it's
No,
one, yeah. Let me shrink this down just a little bit. So this is what the project will end up looking like. This is the shoreline that they're going to be repairing. There's going to be essentially a walking path that goes down towards the shoreline. But then this is a rainwater collection. I'm a little hazy on this part, but it's essentially to retain some water for different vegetation to grow. And then a walking path around it as well.
not a public walking. path.
No,
Okay,
from my understanding, it's for the students.
yeah, only because we did have a resident ask for a walking path to be put there, and I thought Prairie had said no, so I just wanted to.
And because you're sinking something into the ground and making it standardized there, it does require a permit. That's where it would have to go back to the planning and zoning on city side or the village side. And I can share this with everybody as well.
You said 4025, right, Sean?
4025.
And that's just the next house up, so it's just there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And then this is an aerial view of it.
Is the barn stand
Uh,
that they have there?
I'm not sure.
Everybody thought the house was staying,
Yeah.
and then one day it was gone.
And then they have a view of the actual work that's gonna be done. Yeah. So here's your stone work that's gonna be done. There's gonna be a small path along the shoreline. And that's what you're seeing right about here. So at the top of the hill and then halfway down and then
Any sand there anymore.
probably not, no.
There's certainly less than 20 feet of sand along there.
I know.
But keep in mind,
People that walk all the way down.
the reason for the work is because it's being eroded away. So,
You go down.
Well,
Like,
I'm just,
I don't know, your hand was.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
But no, I'm just thinking in terms of, you get a lot of people walking along the beach.
And I've got a copy of the narrative. I can share that with everybody.
Sure, it'll be discussed heavily in the planning commission.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
go to planning first.
Yeah,
But Jeff is already in contact with them. So that whatever reports we need from them, core samples and so on, he's already started that communication so that it's lined up for August.
Who's the engineer? Who are the
Uh,
engineers?
Dan, oh, it's like Verda, I think. I'd have to actually pull up their email. But
It's not clear. I'm just curious.
yeah, give me 1 second. I can give you an actual name. Well, I can attach that to the email, just so we can keep the meeting moving.
yeah.
Thank you for looking. Yeah, they're under a 30-day publication. I think at this point, so. That's all I have.
Okay, so I have a question. Do we need to make a motion on recommending the village engineer as the main contact? Or,
Or the administrator, whatever you want, motion, but yes, I need to designate somebody in the policy.
can we do both?
Do administrator and
Administrator
do
or
her
designate.
designee.
Yeah.
Can you say that?
That'd be the simplest.
Okay, so I'll move that we allow the village administrator or his or her designate as the main contact for the WC and our inspector site pollution control program. Is it?
Who seconded?
Perfect.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Hi.
Opposed? Abstain. Okay, good. Thank you for that very informative. Everything was very informative. I appreciate that. I
That's
learned
what-
quite a few new things.
Public- Scott's busy at Public Works.
Oh, I know he is. I know he is. And thank you for all your help.
Yeah, thank you, Scott.
And Tom.
You need two Scots.
We got a lot coming more, we got a lot more coming, so.
Two of you then, right? On the agenda of this report.
Thanks. May was a very busy month for us and very unfortunate and sad month for our missing person search. Well, as you're all aware, we had a missing person case. I won't get into the details of that, but I just want to say thank you to those that reached out. Thank you to the citizens that gave us tips. Thanks to Wingspread for providing some video footage, and thank God we had cameras here. As you're aware, it obviously resulted in the death of Marquise Young. But a lot of man hours, a lot of research, a lot of other agencies assisted on the back end. It was a very unfortunate, but a good case to see the work that happens here for our part-time officers who are full-time with other agencies. This case was able to be worked around the clock. It wasn't just on a part-time basis. It would be someone working it here at Wind Point. The very next day, they're working at it as a sheriff's office detective. Yeah, that's 4 of us here. So very unique situation that we have here. Thanks to Scott for allowing us to use the UTV that you guys purchased. We were out here for hours into the early morning to the sunrises, searching everywhere. The entire village that we could, even down to the North Bay, under the bridges, etc. A lot of follow-up outside of the village also occurred from tips that we received. So just thanks to those that, the hard work and this long, tiring, and unfortunate ending. The family gives the thanks to the village and, for the assistance from the police department. We were actually mentioned in their eulogy, so that was very nice to be there and to be at the funeral and see that and hear that, good words for sure. Other than that, we were still busy. We had, obviously the construction going on at 4 Miles, so we've been dedicating as strategically as possible for whenever there's a rerouting or there's a new road that's gonna be shut down or a new part or a part of a road. We have a day shift officer, at least for the first few days of that, to assist with DPW, the construction crew, to be there for more of an education purpose rather than an enforcement, but we have had taken some enforcement because there's been a couple of egregious traffic incidents. I'll leave it at that. But nothing new this week that I've heard, other than maybe a couple of speeding complaints that weren't really directly related to the 4 Mile construction project. 50 hours of grant time was worked in May. So we obviously received Department of Transportation safety grants for extra hours. That means the state's paying for those officers to be on the roads to do speed enforcement, seatbelt enforcement, and then in the evening hours between, you thought I was gonna tell you, for OWI enforcement. OWI enforcement, that resulted in one OWI arrest and then a couple of, they weren't OWI, but they did have open intoxicants in the vehicle. So that resulted in quite a few citations for at least 2 traffic stops. 67 traffic stops that you see, citation totals are on the back. You see some new citations that you've probably never seen before. Illegal use of a radio. We've had quite a few people, especially now that the weather's nice, coming through here that are just bumping loud, extremely loud music that's, you'll sit in the park and you'll hear it. The police department, somebody's got heavy bass in their vehicle, and they're driving around. So obviously quality of life matters here in the village of Wind Point. So we do our job to, enforce that as best we can. More or less of an educational approach, depending on the person or the operator of that vehicle. You'll see the extended speed study. I was just discussing with Scott in regards to the updated placement now that school's out for the Lake Meadow Place speed sign. So more to come.
Thank you.
Of course.
Linda, Parks, Recreation, Lighthouse and Facilities.
All right, so you all remember last 2 months ago, there was an approval to spend $5,000 on inventory for the gift shop. We ended up spending $3,489 for our initial inventory. We've only been open 3 days. During those 3 days, we've sold $2,501 worth. So we really truly feel this is going to be a big success. We have a very strong volunteer-based group sitting beside me. We've heard lots of positive comments and have people interested in doing consignment work. We're going to be talking about that at our next meeting on the 1st, I believe. So we did do a restock of mugs, puzzles, whistles, and candles in the amount of $552. Those items were our top. Yeah,
They go like hotcakes.
Who would have thought? Yeah. So that's, we're just really thrilled. We'll start to open more regularly once the keepers get here. I'm going to go and open on Saturdays with any publicity, just to kind of see what it does on a day that we don't advertise it truly being open. So that's the gift shop. Our lighthouse keepers officially start tomorrow. They're as excited as I am for them to start. I think everybody's gonna be really, really impressed with them. We're just starting tomorrow. They have a meeting with Mike Gass. Yeah. I always wanna say your name, I know. They're meeting with Mike, tomorrow, Mike and myself, and then I'll be meeting with them. And then they have a meeting with Hannah set up, for early next week. They've made like a spreadsheet of logs of things that they've noticed that need fixed, they prioritize. They have great questions and, I think we're gonna be very, very happy with them. The gift or the golf course parking lot. Small update on that. The golf group believes that they will be voting, the city council, Racine City Council will be voting on this in July. If everything goes according to plan, they'll start their restoration of the shoreline in the fall. They won't be doing anything with the parking lot this year. It'll be in 2027. So that's all I have.
Okay, my turn. I have the next RCICC meeting on my calendar as June 24th, and we'll see if that happens. Last one got changed, but mark it on your calendar. I don't have a location yet, or let me double check, because they might. Yeah, it's at the Runaway Micro Pub, Nano Brewery, and that's in Burlington. And they start at 5 o'clock, they go till 6:30, they're very on time. And they're worth going to. So I encourage all board members to show up and learn, meet your peers in other communities and learn whatever it is that we're talking about this month. I don't know what's on the agenda, but it's well worth your time, and then you get to go to a pub. The other thing is the Wind Point Community Club, and I'm gonna let Mary Kay update you on that because her and Selena Murrow are now in charge of that, so she's got all the info on that.
So the next event is the Wags and Wheels, which is gonna be held in the Prairie parking lot. On Tuesday, June 30th at 6:30. We have approval for Prairie of Steve Jost. The rain date of the next day, Wednesday. We have volunteers set up for that. We have various things, bowls, American flags and stuff. To hand out, we're gonna give out an award for the best wheels and the best wags. And Marie is making, Gary's wife is making little certificates to give to those recipients. That event will be about an hour long. We're not blocking off the streets. We will have a police officer there just to kind of direct into the parking lot, but it should go very easy. After that, we have the Family Fun Day, which is Sunday, August 23rd from 1 to 4. It'll be here at the Lighthouse grounds. I sent out some initial contacts to get the zoo online. We're looking for volunteers, maybe some Boy Scout troop volunteers or high school to help park cars on the lawn here, just to get them going in a, a nice straight row so they're not haphazard. So I don't know if anybody knows somebody that needs some service hours for that. We'll definitely need more volunteers for this event, so we're trying to get more people in line with that. There'll be more information about the Family Fun Day going forward. We're gonna have a band that played at the Jazz in the Park last year because there won't be any Jazz in the Park this year. So we're gonna just have a band set up. We're gonna do food trucks instead of picnic put on by the village, so that'll be easy. Try to get the Caledonia Fire Department here. Gonna work through it with Scott and everybody to get the layout, so fire trucks, police need to leave, they can get out of here in a hurry. The Wind Point Community Club has set up meetings to be the third Wednesday of the month at 6 o'clock here in the Lighthouse, and that is on the calendar. So if anybody knows somebody that wants to come and join us, we welcome them. No volunteers needed for pickleball tournaments this year, because
We're not doing one.
yeah.
We're not doing that.
I turned in a permit for the, South Lawn rental. And that will go to committee and then to the board, hopefully for a waiver on the fee for the village, even though committee's not part of the village, but it is.
Close
I mean,
enough.
it's not a board function or anything, so, I think that's about it.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, so Linda talked about the gift shop. And I just gotta tell you that back when Elizabeth Waterfall was on the board and we were on the committee together, we talked about a gift shop. So that's how many years ago? Couple?
3.
And we talked, but we got
Never
action
made
from
it
Linda.
happen.
We got action from Linda.
That's
So
beautiful.
on behalf of the village,
Yes, there we go.
I would like to present you the certificate of appreciation, and I will read it to everybody. In recognition of her vision and achievement in establishing the Foghorn Gift Shop in support of the Wind Point Lighthouse, with sincere appreciation for her dedication, enthusiasm, and commitment to preserving and promoting the jewel of our community, the Wind Point Lighthouse. Thank you for your service and lasting contributions to the community.
Thank you.
You did it.
Outstanding.
Outstanding as the all by yourself. All right, and now it's the administrator's report.
I don't have much. You've seen my emails. First off, thank you very much for this opportunity to serve this community. I've enjoyed it, even working with Scott. And then here and there, I'm here to serve, to also advise and offer advice from past experience, if need be, to handle some of these projects that are coming up. So feel free to use me. And again, thank you again for this opportunity.
Thank you for being here.
Okay, I am showing a review of possible action on the street use permit for the Lighthouse Run, which is in here. I think I have it. I have one
Board financial.
No, I mean on this. So Patrick Flynn has applied for the Lighthouse Run, and you're all set up on your end.
We're all good.
I'm just curious how this is gonna affect with the construction. I mean, I realize they never went down past the lighthouse, but used to be people could use Four-Mount to get out of here if they needed to.
Right.
So,
It's gonna be one of those things where obviously we're gonna be shutting down the northbound lane from Green Mountain Main up to the lighthouse to the lighthouse for any northbound traffic. However, we're going to allow southbound traffic to exit Lake Meadow if they're coming south to get back out onto Main. And then if somebody has to leave, they can still get out. If they live on Lighthouse Drive, and they need to leave, they can leave and then they either have to turn south and go to Lake Meadow or continue south 3 Mile. We're gonna allow that southbound traffic.
Thank you.
now I worry more about like the people that are past the lighthouse. Like, where we have, well, I guess they can take the detour.
Right.
Right.
Okay, just wanna make sure you guys get all your ducks in a row.
Thank you.
Madam President, the fee is $85. I'm willing to pay $95 right now to rent the same area. We're not charging enough for this.
Well, then that's a different meeting, but, do I have a motion to approve the
Make a
permit?
motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Abstain. Okay, motion passes.
Might be good for the gift shop.
And that would be 7 AM to 11 AM that day.
Okay, so back in my cup. Okay, did everybody get an opportunity to look through all the financial reports and all the different reports? And do I have a motion to receive that? Permit. Receive and file
All
all,
right, make a motion to consent receipt, file items. The following items, the village's utility financial reports, May 2026.
You could just do one
Reports, May
line.
2026. Police reports, May 2026. Fire and EMS reports, 2026. Building permit report, May 2026. Building administration report, 2026.
second, Linda Johnson. All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Abstain. Okay. All right, at this time, we will be going closed session, so you don't need to be very long. Extra simple.
The bottom, just touch it, yeah. I think you touch it, you can.
So if you gotta go to the bathroom, it's.
But the visual.
Sure what that shows.
That sounds like. Okay,